All right, so we are freaking back for a good old-fashioned back session. But first, we need just a little bit of meditating. I'm thinking, just the normal transcendental meditation, and then just kind of see where that takes us. So, I mean, as far as today, we're just getting into some back thrashing and being present. That's pretty much freaking it. The main reason why I like, or why I kind of compare meditation to bodybuilding, is because it's pretty similar. Like, especially this form of meditation, it's I think of bodybuilding. You're obviously building out your physique. Like, you want cap shoulders, tiny waist, flaring quads, that X frame. With meditation, it's a little different, where it's like you're paying attention, but just in a very relaxed way. And, a byproduct of that is happiness. So it's like you're kind of like weightlifting, in the sense that you're training your mind just to be present, and just to be gently present. That's the whole thing. And then just let whatever happens. It's not really like you're trying to force anything into existence. Like, all you're really here to do is just be here, freaking relax being here. That's it. So, without further ado, let's just get into it. So, we got 22 minutes on the clock, and as always, if you have, if you want to meditate with me, check the description down below. Take that prompt, plug it into ChatGPT with your responses. The more detailed, the better. And let's get freaking rocking and rolling. 22 minutes on the clock. Let's freaking get this. Oh yeah. Ooh. All right. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, so, man, a lot of stuff was starting up with that. Very interesting. First one was, I kind of had like this, it was like just an image of a river flowing, and it was kind of like I was imagining the thought process of everything going into meditation. So I kind of had this, you know, I'm an overthinker for sure, or I guess I shouldn't label myself as an overthinker, but I tend to overthink a lot, and that's where meditation has really, really helped me. But it's almost like when I overthink, I'm stopping this river from, the river becomes a dam, like, in a sense, it's not really flowing the way that it should. And so that's where, for me, it's like just being gentle and present helps that, it like removes, like each thought is kind of like a rock in the river. And, the more you kind of like just come back to the present moment, the more you can see, how the river can flow a little bit more. And it's almost like you remove a rock, or you just move it out of the way so that the river can flow. And it's kind of interesting because the more I do that, just be gentle and present, it's almost like the more content I am with everything. And it's this weird effect, because you'd think like being content means, all right, cool, I'm freaking done, peace, kind of thing. Like you don't, or at least for me, like I don't imagine being content as being like very driven towards your goals. And that's kind of one fear that I've had, is like once you get to this, blissed out moment, you won't want to do anything anymore. But it's kind of the opposite, because I got to this place of contentment, and it's like once I got there, I wanted to do more, like just more of what I love, whatever that is. Like right now, it's meditating, it's bodybuilding, it's coaching others, all that fun stuff. But it's not like I'm like craving to do any of that, because it's not like I like need to do it at this very second. It's like I'm, I just want to do it because it's fun, because I'm playing the game. It's like it's not like I'm like, oh God, I gotta move my piece in this game right now. I'm like craving to do it. It's like, no, just when my turn comes, I'll make my move. And so that's kind of how I've been thinking about it, where it's like the contentment is pushing me to do more, but it's not forcing me to do anything, if that makes any sense. So it's kind of like that gentle current, like once you're present and you're gentle in that presence, then this form of contentment comes, and that's what keeps the river flowing, So you can go down that whole rabbit hole with that analogy, but that's pretty much how I like to think about it. But anyways, that is pretty much freaking it. We're gonna go get some back thrashing in right now. I'm thinking, I don't know what's on the program, but I'm thinking we're probably gonna improv at least a little bit today. I'm thinking like a few pull downs, thinking like close grip pull down. That just sounds really nice. To be honest, I saw Sam Sulik doing this, so it just looked freaking amazing, because you kind of have like that whole pullover effect with the close grip pull down. And then I'm thinking, just rows galore. Like I'm thinking like just a lot of rows, and we're just going to go freaking ham on all of that. But yeah, not much else to add there. It's just, let's just get in there and freaking destroy some back. Alright, so I'm going a little closer grip with this kind of pull down, and definitely feel my biceps working at least a little more. So, it means we get to drive into the back, you know, that much more. So, technically I have regular pull downs, but felt like changing it up, so let's freaking get it. That's good. Let's go see what we got next. Alright, so 4 plates, chest supported C-bar row. You know, once I'm freaking warm, then that's it for me. Like, I can jump up and weight pretty freaking heavy, because we only did 1 set before this, 2 plates, and then we just jumped to this. But, you know, it's kind of the beauty of having like an extended warm-up. You don't have to worry about things like that. So that's kind of where I'm landing right now. But anyways, let's freaking rip this and see how many we can get. Yeah, that's good.
The Ergonomics classroom will be closing for any cleaning. Once again, the Ergonomics classroom will be closing for cleaning.
And so we have made it to the last freaking set. And the main thing I'm trying to do with this is I'm basically just trying to stretch as much as I can and then get as much out of the partials at the very end. So I'm basically, it's like stretch, and then try to squeeze as much as I can, but it's not as much of a squeeze as I would like on a cable pullover or like a machine row. Like this is a very like any kind of movement where I'm bent over and I'm doing some type of row, I'm not really focusing on the squeeze too much. It's more so the stretch, because then we'll kind of round it out at the very end and get a lot of the squeezing action. So let's we're gonna do a big drop set with this. We're gonna try just as many reps as possible with each plate. So this is gonna be freaking fun. Come on. Yeah, that's freaking good. Let's finish off some cable pullovers and then we got one more set of strokes and then we'll go pose. Alright, so we're doing a little interchanging of the pullovers. Pretty freaking sweet, guys. You're almost guaranteed a lap pump, and then at the same time, you can pretty much just freaking go until you can't. So let's just freaking rip into this. Oh my God. Oh my. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. Yeah, that's good. Let's go pose. All right, so let's see how we're looking. Oh yeah, so that was freaking fun. Man, I've been really enjoying those single arm pullovers. Just going back and forth and seeing how many you can get, because I don't know, it's just kind of up to how you're feeling and how much you can actually squeeze out that day. So I've been thoroughly enjoying those. But anyways, I'll see you all in the car. Oh yeah, so that was freaking amazing. I am really starting to like the whole setup of my back days, because I feel like I'm blending a lot of what my coach is giving me with how I'm feeling on a particular day. So it's been definitely helping. Like for instance, today we had dumbbell pullovers to finish off with, but we saw we didn't do those, and we did like the interchanging single arm cable pullovers. So it's just little things like that. It's not like we're changing the entire program to make it, basically whatever I'm feeling, because obviously I'm gonna follow a lot of what my coach gives me. But at the same time, it's like I said, like it's basically how I'm feeling that day, and I kind of go based off of that, because that's honestly, for me at least, whatever has been, kind of working for me. It's based off of a feeling. Like it's tough to say like, yeah, like this is going to be the perfect workout program tailored to you in particular, because at the end of the day, like we're all going to have different experiences every single day. Like even if you're perfect on your diet, even if you're perfect on your sleep, super regimented, like almost like ironclad discipline. I don't know if y'all know Immanuel Kant, I think that's his name, but he was like a philosopher in the 1700s, and basically he was famous because he had like what people called ironclad discipline. So he basically did everything at the same time every single day, pretty much of his life. Like I think he was a professor at a university, and so he would, he kind of had his routine that he was like down to the minute. He would do it at the same time every single day. And bodybuilding's kind of a lot like that. Like it's, you have your meals set for the week, and you hit them, you eat your meals at, certain times throughout the day. But at the same time, like I wouldn't stress about getting every single meal like down to the minute. At least if you're not like super serious about bodybuilding. If you are, then that's a sacrifice you got to make. You gotta freaking check all the boxes when it comes to meal timing and getting your sleep in and all of that, especially if you're on prep. I mean that's kind of a non-negotiable if you want to do really well, because you have competitors who are just going to do more than you then. Like they're just going to be perfect with their diet and they're going to beat you. That's just kind of how it is. So that's kind of where I'm landing with a lot of this. It's a mix of two things, being, extremely disciplined on logically what makes sense. Like obviously get enough protein in, fill up carbs if you're feeling a little flat and, you're in the off season, random stuff like that, the stuff that just makes sense. But then at the same time, like you're your own person. Like you're going through your own thing, and you're doing the best that you can, doing whatever it is you're doing. And so kind of like adjusting based on how you're feeling, I think that's going to take you a lot farther than being like, oh man, well, coach gave me freaking 20 reps on everything, so I have to do 20 reps on everything. Like, no, it's like you like obviously listen to your coach, take into consideration a lot of what they're saying, but then at the same time, or I should say everything they're saying, but then at the same time, just if you're gonna go into your own way, like if you're gonna do your own thing with whatever you're doing, nutrition, sleep, training, just let your coach know. I think that's the biggest thing, is communication, because I've noticed with a lot of the athletes that I work with, the ones that do the best communicate the most, and that's just kind of how it is. It's not really like, I'm not really looking at athletes that do exactly everything I say, because although that would be nice, I also want them to have some say in it. I was working with somebody who, he literally did everything that I asked. Like, didn't go off plan at all. Like he didn't have a cheat meal or a refeed meal. He He didn't go off the training. He got enough sleep every night. Like, it was wild. It was kind of an anomaly. Like, I've never had somebody that disciplined with what I'm telling them, and it was awesome. We made a ton of gains, but at the same time, you know, he didn't really question anything. Like, that was a big thing about it, where I was like, I want him to be curious about what we're doing and why we're doing it, because that's the real growth there. Like, if you can ask your coach as many questions as possible, do it. Like, honestly, that's it, because it helps the coach too. It helps us, you know, kind of see where you're at, and then at the same time kind of see how we can help you best. Because I'm not, you know, even though that's awesome, like having somebody who is extremely disciplined, you know, who's to say that, you know, if they like one day they're not as disciplined, then they're not going to really understand why they're doing what they're doing and where to go from there. You know, I don't want to coach people forever just for the sake of coaching them. Like, yeah, I'll coach people forever, but at the same time, like, I'm coaching people so that they kind of like graduate in a certain sense, where it's like, cool, like, you know, I've gotten all the basics down. I've gotten the hang of things enough to know my body, where I need to go, and what do I need to do from here. Because then it kind of transforms the person. It's not really, you know, just about the training anymore. It's not just about the nutrition, you know, even though those are extremely important pieces. It's like you want to get them to the point of, people call it like self-actualization. That's a pretty popular term, but it's kind of like transforming them into the best versions of themselves. And, you know, I'm not trying to transform them so they depend on me. Pretty much the opposite. Like, I want to transform them so that they're confident that they can make the right choice in whatever circumstance they find themselves in, because they have the basics down, and because they know how to analyze whatever they're doing enough to, you know, grow even more. So that's kind of where I'm coming from with a lot of this. But yeah, really freaking solid back day. We had a lot more time today because I don't have work, so it was just a nice day. You know, I feel like I don't regularly get this much time for lifts, and I gotta say, this is a part of the reason why I'm putting so much time into coaching. And you know, I can always do more, and that's kind of what I'm striving for. But it's to create freedom at the end of the day. Like, I want to create freaking beasts of athletes, and I also want to, you know, help them grow as people. So that's kind of my thing. I just freaking care. I don't know how else to put it. It's just this is fun to me. But anyways, we're gonna go. We just had a shake. We did our cardio. Now we're probably gonna go grub, and then after, probably shower, and then get back to work. That's pretty much the freaking plan for right now. But that's pretty much it. I got nothing else to add there. But I just know tomorrow is going to be a freaking sweet arm day, because we have a little more carbs in our system this week. We have one more meal with starches in it than we did last week, so we're definitely putting it to work, and it's kind of nice because my protein's still lower, so I'm kind of, you know, we're still in a deficit, but at the same time, like, I'm getting bigger and leaner at the same time, which is, you know, obviously the freaking goal with a lot of this, but you know, that's kind of where we're landing right now. But anyways, y'all, I will see you tomorrow for freaking sweet arm day.